Not yours! Betta splendens stands out as one of the most beautiful and best-selling ornamental fish from tropical waters. Fish breeding and larval rearing is one of the key steps for any aquaculture achievement. In this video, I will focus on betta breeding starting from the preparation, spawning, hatching of eggs, and larval management. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. Choosing the right pair. There are several criteria that needs to be considered when choosing the right pair for breeding. Of course, your betta has to be in perfect health condition, free from any infections, diseases, or even any defections on the body. The age has to be between 4 months to 12 months only. The colors of the betta has to be vibrant, which by means that it indicates that your betta is in very good health. Then those which are in poor condition are usually pale. As for female betta, the ovipositor tube has to be very obvious. This means that your female betta is ready for breeding. Ovipositor tube is the tube that excretes the eggs from inside of the female betta fish. Conditioning is essential as this will help the bettas gain strength that will sustain them through the spawn, and afterward when the male is focused on caring for the eggs and female is focused in recovery. So I have used high protein foods to condition my betta, which is Artemia, Marubeni feed number 3, and also this once a week UHT mosquito larvae. After conditioning the bettas for 1 to 2 weeks, here we will set up our breeding tank. I have the clean fresh water, antibacterial salt, catappa leaves extract, some leaves, plastic as a substrate, and also a small basin. Using a clean basin, pour in clean fresh water up to a level of 3 to 4 inches. At this water level, we can lessen the larvae energy to swim to the surface. Next is that I poured in a little amount of antibacterial conditioning salt. Next is that I poured in a bit of catappa leaves extract. Catappa leaves are known to have tannins and humic substances that can keep a betta fish health in a good condition. Next, I put a little bit of partially submerged leaves for the female to hide, and also plastic as substrate for the bubble nest to settle on. And there you go, an optimal tank setup for betta breeding. As for courtship, there are several ways where we can introduce our male or female bettas. Either we can introduce them in separate transparent tanks where they can view each other until they show reproductive behavior, or as for my case, I placed them both together straight away in a 30 x 40 centimeters tank. So I regard this tank to be easy for the female to swim away in case the male starts chasing her. The probability for the bettas to be successful in breeding is where the female is submissive and the male keeps chasing the female. Within 24 hours, the male bettas will build a bubble nest made from air bubbles and coated in saliva to make them more durable. Gamete release started after 3 days. This process, called as the nuptial embrace, will last approximately 3 hours. The two couples spawn and the eggs were pulled. Here, the male will flip the female upside down, wrap himself around her, and fertilize the eggs as she releases them. Here, their ventrals are close to each other, which will increase the likelihood for the eggs to fertilize. the male will start to catch the eggs and pick them up to the bubble nest. Here the female is floating sideways as she recovers from releasing her eggs. The male will start to catch all the eggs and take it up to the bubble nest. This is the use of the bubble nest, where it is a substrate for the eggs to be pulled on. Here, as we can see, the eggs were at the egg cell, first cleavage, and morula stages. The male will release milk into the tank to externally fertilize the eggs. Here the yolk sac is not yet formed, but the eggs are going through an embryonic development. Once the female have recovered from releasing her eggs, the female has to be removed, or else she will start to become aggressive and eat up the eggs. This is 1 to 2 hours post-hatching. Here we can see that there is newly hatched larvae that has a large yolk sac. Under the parental care of the male, the larvae has low swimming capability, therefore they remain attached on the bubble nest. A good larval management is vital to achieve successful fish breeding. Here we can see that our fry are now free swimming, therefore the male will need to be removed. At this stage, although the larvae still had yolk, exogenous feeding has to be started. The yolk was found to be completely absorbed at 75th hour post-hatching. At this stage, food will be obtained via exogenous feeding, so I have given them infusoria and also artemia as their feed. A good water quality is important to be maintained as our fry is very sensitive to water parameter changes. Therefore, it is advisable to avoid dry food, especially pellet, as this will deteriorate your water quality. As for the fry that I have now, I am feeding them with artemia only. I will harvest artemia twice daily, as fry needs adequate amount of food always. Proper live feed selection is important in early parts of the growth stage of fish. In the term of larval nutrition, many studies revealed that live feeds had a better growth and survival than that of larval fed dry feed. Live food is occasionally necessary. I used artemia to feed my fry, as it is a practical food source for the early stages of many fish.